convinced you that he was telling the truth? You know, guys, Joshua has been followed around throughout his life. Now watching that first video, throughout his life, he's been followed by a dark presence. It's giving evil spirit that has always been there with him from the day that he was born.
Satan was just giving me excuses. But I think what was after me was the spirit of death. Because if you see, when I was being born, there were complications. I almost died.
Yes.
On the
You
same
get
day,
kidnapped.
this spirit comes and attacks
Your mom.
my mother. And
Putting you at risk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you see that death was following me.
Yes, and you being kidnapped,
And
who
I was
knows what the
kidnapped as
plan
well.
was.
Exactly.
He decided that he's not doing this anymore. He said to God, I'm going to go live my life. I've served you enough. Right? And he said that his life was kind of tumultuous at that time. Could it be because of that spirit that has been following him around since birth? Could it be?
2010, I decided that I was going to resign as an assistant pastor.
Okay.
So I resigned in 2010. So this is what I told myself in my mind. God, I served you. I've done my best, but now I think it is time that I focus on my life.
Why would Jesus be glad that you closed your church and you have the special calling, Joshua, Jesus? Why would Jesus be happy with that? Because even if you have a church and you only have 5 people, I promise you, God is still good with you. Because you're doing what is right. You're bringing people to Jesus, to God. And that's where he wants you. But no, not Joshua. He was destined for greater things. He had to close that church down. And Jesus was proud of him. I find that strange.
In me, it's as if I could perceive that the smile he gave me was as if saying to me, well done for closing this church.
There was a deceiving spirit. And what Joshua is doing is helping to announce the evil one. Because damn, he was followed by that evil spirit all of his life.
There he tells me, you must not open a church. You will introduce me as the soon coming king to the world.
That's it.
That's what he told
Clear
me.
assignment.
But could it be that it is the deceiver? And this is the plan. And it's always been in motion. Could it be that he's not lying? It's just that he is also being deceived. But he believes because he's adding all these things together. But he's been followed by an evil spirit all of his life. He also watches the conspiracy theories. He's on the internet quite a lot. He feeds his brain that kind of information.
I mean, a simple Google. A simple Google, if you say, what is the Hebrew idiom for no one knows the day or hour? Google will tell you it is referring to the Feast of Trumpets.
Happy Sunday, dazzling diamonds. We need to talk. Now, when Brother Joshua came out and I saw the clips on TikTok, I actually didn't go back to go and watch the full video on the Saint Twins podcast. It was quite long. And it's been on my mind. Go and watch the full episode of the first video. And so I did so this weekend. And I'm so shocked. And I'm so afraid. for a lot of you guys, God did say, many will come in his name and deceive people. And I have a feeling that this is part of the deception. Let's get into it.
Vault unlocked.
Hello, what is up, you dazzling diamonds and the others? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Linda Kyle and this is The Vault. Anyway, you guys, let's jump straight into this video. Alrighty then, you guys, if you guys haven't already, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. And if you guys do enjoy my videos, please do click on the thank you button. And before you guys leave out of here, please do drop me a comment in the comment section down below, right? In this video, you guys, we are going to talk about your favorite brother Joshua and how I'm shocked. I'm in disbelief. I don't know what to make of this. My question is to you guys, what convinced you that he was telling the truth? What convinced you? Because watching that full video, and now I've gone back to watch the other two as well, I can safely say, I don't believe that guy. Or I don't trust the source of his information, rather. Let me put it that way. Because if I'm going to say to you guys, no one knows the date or time, right? Or the hour. I have to stand by that. Which means that if people come and say, this is the date, I don't believe that. But if people say, just because Joshua said this is the date, and then I say, yeah, it's not going to happen. It's like the inverse of what he's doing. So you can't say, no, it's not going to be on the 23rd, because nobody actually knows. On either side of the coin. But with that first interview that he did with the Singh twins, I was looking at the way he carried himself, his mannerisms, his eyes. Guys, there's something about people's eyes that are just so telling. And that's why I asked you guys now, what actually convinced you from that first video that he was telling the truth? I did not see truth in that man's eyes. I saw them darting around, beady, very sus.
The rapture is so upon us when the time, but then now she forgot that I was on a stomach. When something has been appointed, when the time has been appointed for something, it's either you are prepared for it, or if you're not, it still comes anyways.
Whether you're ready or not.
Whether you are ready or not.
Yo.
So, if I can give a little bit of a background.
Yeah.
I'm not making this video to try to convince you guys that he's lying. I don't think he's lying. I think he believes the things that he has seen. And I don't know the date or time, so I cannot say it's not the 23rd. I just don't know. But there's something funny happening over there. There's something funny happening over there. Body language doesn't lie. And you can tell a lot about a person by looking at their eyes and how they present themselves. Something is off. And I feel like this is part of the deception that God was talking about. You know, guys, Joshua has been followed around throughout his life. Now watching that first video, throughout his life, he's been followed by a dark presence. It's giving evil spirit. that has always been there with him from the day that he was born. Did you guys pick up on that? First of all, he says that before he was born, his father had a dream that he should name the child Joshua. That was in the first video. He says that.
Before I was born, where I got the name Joshua.
Yeah.
Before I was born, when my mother was pregnant with me, my father had a dream. And in this dream, he was told to name the child Joshua.
In the follow-up video, he said it was Jesus that came to his parents to say, name the child Joshua. And they didn't know the sex of the child at that point. Now he's confirming that it was Jesus. But at first, he just said it was a dream. In the second video, he says that Joshua means Jesus. It's in a way making himself seem very special and chosen. We've heard many false prophets say similar things where they explain their names and why they are the chosen one.
I was almost not born. There was some complications with the birth. And the doctor said to my parents that if I'm born, it's either I'll come out dead or I'll come out injured. So when I came out and I had no issue at all and I was alive, so the doctors said that I was a miracle.
Yes, sir.
My name is Joshua. I've pondered about this a long time. The other name for Joshua is Jesus. The Greek name for Joshua is Jesus.
Yeshua.
My father and mother never gave me this name. But God came to my father in a dream and said, you name him my name.
And I'm just sitting back and I'm thinking, now that you say that, it's almost like he was saying, he is Jesus, just in a different form. He does, though, come back and say, I'm not special more than anyone. By the way, of course you would say that. But it doesn't take away from the fact that you just said, you pointed that out for a reason, that Joshua means Jesus. And I found that very strange, you guys. Going back to the dark force that has always been with him, right? He says that on the day that he was born, there was a force, a spirit, that strangled his mother. And if she had moved, she would have dropped the baby and he would have been paralyzed or perished. And before that, before he was born, the doctors had said, this child is not going to make it, but he made it. Right? So now we come back to the spirit that strangled his mother, implying that the spirit was trying to take him out of here. Because he then says his mother thought, no, but I have the baby on my stomach. I don't even know why you're laying with the baby on your stomach. I mean, usually, I have 2 kids. It just seems very odd. So Jesus then says to the mother, don't turn this way, the baby's going to fall. And I guess that's how he survived.
Now, my mother had me as a baby on her stomach and she was resting. So a spiritual force came and strangled her. So as she was fighting off this force, fighting off this spirit, she was about to turn her body to fight this thing off her.
Yeah.
But then now she forgot that I was on her stomach.
Yeah. Oh.
So if she turns, then I will fall to the floor.
Oh,
Maybe
no.
injure myself or probably die.
So there was that dark spirit there on that day. And then, years later, he was kidnapped.
So I grew up, maybe I was about 4 years, 5 years I was kidnapped.
Oh.
So for about a month.
Huh?
What?
Yes, for about a month. I remember the ordeal. I was kidnapped for about a month. But miraculously, to cut the long story short, miraculously, by God's grace, I was found. I think some Indian family or person informed the police that, no, we've seen a child somewhere. And the police and my parents, they went to fetch me there. And then I came back to my parents. I grew up now when I was a teenager.
And wait, you remember those events?
I remember those events. I may not remember everything, but I do remember some things. I do remember myself sitting, like waking up every day, sitting where they sitting down in the, what do you call it, a stoop?
Okay.
Sitting down there, just crying the whole day. You
Who were these people?
Honestly, what I remember is that the person who did this was someone who knew my family. But they kidnapped me and taken me, I don't even know where
Where
to
it
where
was.
they taken me.
He was kidnapped for a month. More dark energy there. But safely returned. I guess here he's trying to imply by the grace of God. He was brought back home. He can't really remember what was happening there. But he was brought back home. The people were found. So the fact that he has some kind of memory of that time must mean that he has some trauma in him from that time. Was he kidnapped? Or was he just taken somewhere spiritual or something like that? I don't know. But he says he was kidnapped. That dark spirit was still there. Right? And then in his teens, he continuously had his thoughts. He doesn't say why. But he just continuously had his thoughts. Which would imply that Satan is trying to take him out of here. But don't forget, up until this point, there's an evil spirit that has been following this guy since he was a baby. Right? But God saved him from those S thoughts, he says. So he had a mental health issue. This is how that would be put today, right? Having S thoughts. You gotta go talk to somebody. You gotta take some medication type of situation. But he was tormented. The way he explains it, he was tormented by these S thoughts. Once again, the evil spirit was there.
So, when I was a teenager, I had a problem of, I was battling suicidal thoughts. I wanted to take my life so much. And the enemy was providing opportunities for me to do that. I remember this one time, I won't mention in what way I was trying to take my life. Just when I was about to do it, God stopped me. And I was a teenager then. Maybe I was 16, 17, I don't know, somewhere there.
And there wouldn't be any underlying issues as to why you're doing it. You wouldn't do it because you're angry at a particular thing. It was just like the spirit of suicidal, thought was
so
there.
strong.
It was just that strong.
Thank you so much for asking that question, because I think the enemy, Satan, was just giving me excuses. But I think what was after me was the spirit of death. Because if you see, when I was being born, there were complications. I almost died.
Yes.
On the
You
same
get
day,
kidnapped.
this spirit comes and attacks
Your mom.
my
Your
mother. And
Putting you at risk.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you see that death was following me.
Yes. And you being kidnapped,
And
who
I was
knows what the
kidnapped as
plan
well.
was.
Exactly.
And those eyes, guys. There's something about his eyes. And somewhere in all of that, he mentions that not all men will die. And I got the vibe that he was saying he's part of those men. Because is he not the guy that is giving us the date of the rapture? That means he falls under that category. He's special because he's Joshua, Jesus. And he speaks about mortality and immortality. Because those that will be raptured didn't perish. They just left. And he's implying that he's one of those special ones. Because he's always been special since birth. But what has made him so special? Is it because of the Lord, the Spirit of the Lord? Or is it because of that dark spirit that has been following him around since birth?
A selected group of people in the world that will never see death. That God has selected them for them not to see
die.
death. So death is my enemy. And death is the enemy of God.
Kind of makes you wonder, huh?
I'm not a prophet. But I am the servant of the Lord.
Years go by. He was walking with his friend. I think they were going to evangelize or something like that. And then he saw a very tall angel, he says. And he realized that his friend could not see this being. He was the only one that could see it, broad daylight, he was awake. Makes you wonder. He had those mental health issues with the suicide, with the S word. He had the trauma from being kidnapped, and now he's seeing apparitions. Satan can come disguised as Jesus or an angel or whatever that is good and pure. Is it possible that what he saw that day with his friend was Satan duping him? Because let's not forget. And he said that this angel had a sword. He said that he just had the knowledge that this angel was there to fight off demons. I find that intriguing, that would be his thought. So was it an angel? Was it Jesus? Or was it the same spirit that has been following him around since birth? The dark spirit.
Next to us, there was an angel so tall as a building, or as tall as the tallest tree. Wow. This angel was carrying a sword with it, and it kept looking around us. It walked as if it was guarding us, as if like it's looking for demons that it can find that want to come our way, and then it would then cut it down with this sword. Yes, it was protecting us. And I noticed that in my perception, my friends were not aware of this.
They were not seeing what you're seeing.
They were not seeing what I'm seeing. So that was like one of the first experience of the spiritual world as a Christian, as a born-again Christian. And again, I would say, sometimes I would be walking maybe to church or from church, and I would feel like I'm walking alone.
This is bad. Why did everybody believe him? Were you not paying attention? Were you not listening? Years go by. In 2023, he was an assistant preacher where he had a dream where he was like in a barren world that was burned to the ground. And in that dream, he just knew that it meant that people had been raptured. Why was he there by himself to see these empty lands, this empty world that has burnt down. Why? Seems like hell on earth. Right? In 2010, he then resigns as a pastor or assistant pastor. And he prays to God. He says, Father, I have served you enough. I'm going to go and live my life now. Does anybody find that strange? He resigned. This man of God. Like the falling away. He decided that he's not doing this anymore. He said to God, I'm going to go live my life. I've served you enough. Right? And he said that his life was kind of tumultuous at that time. Could it be because of that spirit that has been following him around since birth? Could it be?
2010, I decided that I was going to resign as an assistant pastor.
Okay.
So I resigned in 2010. So this is what I told myself in my mind. God, I served you. I've done my best, but now I think it is time that I focus on my life.
2016, he opens a church in a house. I guess it didn't become a super mega church. I think that's what he wanted. He wanted a super mega church. It was too small for him, in my opinion. It was just a small house where he was praying for people and doing what he was doing. That was 2016. And then he decides to close that church down. Once again, turning away from God. Because things were tumultuous in his life. He closes that church down. And he tells the people, don't come no more. I'm done.
I woke up. So when I woke up, I thought in my mind that maybe God wants me to open a church.
Because of the number of souls.
Yes,
soul winning.
Yes, okay. I thought that God wanted me to open a church. So that was 2011.
Yeah.
2016, I started a church. So it was in a house. So in this house, I called people over. They came, and I used to pray for them. I went. I did these prayers for about a month. But inside my heart, I had no peace. Inside my heart, I was not feeling good about it. So one day, I decided to tell the congregation I quit. That they don't have to come for prayers anymore.
It's done.
Yes.
No more church.
Yes.
Just like in 2023 when he had resigned. And on the day when he closes the church down, a woman comes to him outside and says, please pray for me. And he's like, okay, well, no harm here. Let me just pray for her, even though I'm closing the church. He lays his hand on this woman and he prays for her. While praying for her, he feels this energy, electricity, and so does she. And he knows that that's the Spirit of the Lord. Because even the lady says, I felt something, a force. And I knew that was the Lord. But Satan can play those tricks too. Have you guys heard about Reiki, where they move the energy and they do these things? Isn't it said that Satan is going to perform miracles and so on? People are doing those kind of things today. But then, there and there, he's still awake. This is not a dream, he says. Jesus comes again. This is now during the prayer of the lady. He sees her. He sees him. This time, before, when he saw Jesus or that angel, he was wearing a robe. a white robe. This time, Jesus is wearing a king's robe with blue and I guess navy blue or what. It was a king's robe. It was giving royal king. He was dressed differently. He was marvelous. And Jesus told him, or signaled to him telepathically, that, good, I wanted you to close that church down. You did the right thing.
So I went out. So I told them inside the house. So I went outside to leave. So in the yard there, where we were making the prayers, an old woman came to me and she asked me to pray for her. So we are outside. So I laid my hands on her head and I was praying for her. So I closed my eyes and she had her eyes closed as well. So while I was praying for her, closing my eyes, I felt in my hand an electric shock. I felt like my hand, something is shocking my hand. I opened my eyes. While I'm praying, I opened my eyes only to see, as this old woman is here, I'm praying for her, next to her, now I'm not sleeping, this is not a dream. Jesus appears right in front of me. He is standing next to her. But now he's not wearing a white robe. He's wearing a king's robe. It had some bluish color, some navy blue color on it, and it went up to his feet or down to his feet. It looked so strong when he looked at me, and he had broad shoulders, and his chest looked so strong that day when I look at him. And when I look at his chest, it was as if I could see. Remember, I'm not sleeping. This is not a dream.
This is
Real
real.
life.
It's as if I could see the galaxies in his chest.
Yo.
Like the galaxies, the
Yes,
space.
yes.
It was as if I could see when I look at his chest. I remember he's wearing the king's robe. And in me, this voice or this knowledge came to me that this is the one that holds the universe together. And while I'm looking at him, I'm looking at his face now, he smiled. And I'm looking at him. After he smiles, he disappears. But I'm left with this knowledge in me. It's as if I could perceive that the smile he gave me was as if saying to me, well done for closing this church.
Satan is the king of the earth who can appear like Jesus, like an angel. That's how he will dupe you. Why would Jesus be glad that you closed your church and you have the special calling, Joshua, Jesus? Why would Jesus be happy with that? Because even if you have a church and you only have 5 people, I promise you, God is still good with you. Because you're doing what is right. You're bringing people to Jesus, to God. And that's where he wants you. But no, not Joshua. He was destined for greater things. He had to close that church down. And Jesus was proud of him. I find that strange. I find that very strange. Because he said he was greater, he was destined for greater things. And the greater things is where we find ourselves today. He knew when he started getting these revelations or these dreams and visions that him closing that church down, because that was just too small for Jesus. He knew that one day he would share these visions, and this is how he would bring people to Jesus. He knew, or Jesus told him, or telepathically told him, that one day you will announce me to the world. You will announce me to the world. Could it be there was a deceiving spirit? And what Joshua is doing is helping to announce the evil one.
Because this is not the plan that I have for you. You are not supposed to open a church. So I knew it right there and then.
It was the confirmation that you needed, actually.
Exactly. So
because damn, he was followed by that evil spirit all of his life.
there he tells me, you must not open a church. You will introduce me as the soon coming king to the world.
That's
Yo.
it.
That's what he told
Clear
me.
assignment.
I wonder what his parents' background was, what they were mixed in. So Jesus tells him that you will introduce me to the world. And he says that's the reason why there's so much hype around what he is doing. But could it be that it is the deceiver and this is the plan? And it's always been in motion. Could it be that he's not lying? It's just that he is also being deceived. But he believes because he's adding all these things together. But he's been followed by an evil spirit all of his life. And if we are really in the time that I think that we are, isn't the Antichrist, isn't he coming? That spaceship that Joshua also speaks about. Joshua, in my opinion, watching these videos back now, all three of them, he also watches the conspiracy theories. He's on the internet quite a lot. He feeds his brain that kind of information.
No one knows the day or hour. It is referring to the Feast of Trumpets. I mean, a simple Google. A simple Google. If you say, what is the Hebrew idiom for no one knows the day or hour? Google will tell you it is referring to the Feast of Trumpets.
He does. The 3-eye atlas thing that's coming. What if that is part of the deception? Because he mentioned it. What if all of you are going to believe that it's Rapture Day on those dates, but it's Satan's deception and he's going to do some kind of bushishi? That's why I was saying when Joshua goes live on the 23rd, I hope he's not going to do any theatrics and stuff to make it seem like something is funny here. He watches conspiracies. He said that the saying of no one knows the date or the hour in, I think, Hebrew can be translated to what it means the Feast of Trumpets means. Okay, granted. Of course, you would have something to explain it away. Granted. Something is not okay here. The eyes of a man don't lie. I'm very concerned. I do believe something spiritual is happening right now. Maybe something will happen on the 23rd and 24th. But could it be that it's part of Satan's deception? And Joshua is also just being used. Could it be that? Because what is that spirit that has been following him all his life? And in the videos, it's like he's playing it off to say, the darkness was trying to get me, but Jesus saved me. I feel like the darkness has always just been messing around with him. And I think that he has some kind of grandiose feelings about himself. That's why he had to point it out that Joshua means Jesus. And that happened for a reason. And I wonder about his parents' background. And I wonder about his family and who they are. And I wonder about the trauma that he clearly has experienced as a child, the mental health issues that he has spoken about himself. Have they gotten us to this date? And I wonder about his beady eyes. And I wonder, how did you guys believe it? Why? I'm not saying he's lying. I think he believes what he's saying. But I strongly believe there's deception in all of this. I don't know if he is actively deceiving people. But there is a possibility that he doesn't know as well. And he believes what he's been seeing. I've had dreams after 3 days of darkness. But I cannot tell you the year, the date, or anything. I've also had dreams of the sky opening up. And it was chaos here on earth. But I cannot tell you the day, the month, or anything like that. I've just had the dreams. And they felt so real. But in those dreams, God never told me, at least me personally, go and tell them about this. Like, as in, go and warn them. I'm just saying my experience. So I'm just thinking of myself and how I think. And I'm being honest. I'm asking myself, am I being deceived in some kind of way? Am I even deceiving myself? Am I lying to myself? I know myself. I'm not. There's something funny going on here. And it's bigger than what you think. It's twisted. Sure. And he did say in the other video, and we'll see who God will, I don't know, not redeem, but whose word God will make come true. Yours or mine. We'll see. And then he does also say in the other video, if the rapture happens. So is it's happening, or is it if? I'm sorry, there's something about that man's eyes. Anyway, guys, and also I wanted to ask, in all of these experiences, did Joshua actually test the spirits? Did you guys hear once where he said he tested the spirits? Once. Not me. And he should have. Because he's been followed by that dark energy all of his life. Why did you guys actually believe it all? What about him made you believe it? That's all I'm not saying he's lying, guys. I'm not trying to sway you guys. I'm just analyzing the situation. I'm like wondering. Obviously, from where I stand, I'm thinking very different. What was it about him that made you believe it? And everybody came out of the woodworks after Joshua came. Could he be part of the deception? And this is Satan's plan. Because let's face it, bayathatega. But are you listening to the things that he's been saying? This is wild. This is wild. Sure. Anyway, guys, repent. Draw closer to God. Do it on a daily basis. Stay connected with the Lord, and He will guide you. And I feel like it was God that was pushing me to watch that first video. I've been putting it off because it was so long. And I'm usually a good judge of character. Situations and people, just in general. I don't hope I'm wrong. I don't hope I'm right. This is just how I feel. I'm just worried.